Hi. Okay, so full disclosure, I was so done with healing yesterday. I was so just over it. But honestly, like really on reflection, just I was, being quite petulant like a child, really. Like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm done. But that's how I felt yesterday. And why did I feel that way? Because I'd woken up. Everything was fine. Everything was normal. Nothing external happened at all. Nothing happened the day before or the day before that. No reason for it. But I woke up and had these crippling fears, doubts, insecurities, worst case scenarios, things that are never going to happen running in my head straight away. And I thought, oh, okay, it's fine. Just maybe I'm tired. Get up, shower, go about my day. And then I come into the lounge and I thought for like 5 minutes, because on my keys I have a lanyard and there's a little plastic bit that clips to the other plastic bit on the lanyard. One was missing. Oh, well, normally I'd be like, oh, okay, dog might have eaten it. Let's look around for it. No, yesterday it was like a crime documentary in my head. It was like, well, that's it. The dog's going to need surgery. That's going to be thousands of pounds that I don't have. Oh my God, what if he doesn't make it through the surgery? Like, it was this whole courtroom drama in my head because one of these tiny little plastic clips was missing. And he's a massive puppy. Like, I checked it on Grok. It's like, what would happen if he swallowed this? 90% of the time they're fine. Even that wasn't enough. I was overthinking. Oh my God, I'm going to have to borrow money off this person if I can. I'm going to have to, oh my God, what if he passes away? Like, ridiculous. And lo and behold, 5 minutes later, found it. And I held this bloody clip in my hand. I was like, oh my God. And I was in the garden getting rid of it. And I was like, Spirit, you have to help me today. I'm spiraling. You please help me. And I just kept spiraling all day yesterday. Internally, I was still showing up for my kids, but I certainly wasn't the, oh, let's play, let's do this, let's go for a walk. I was just a lot more kind of, I was there, but I wasn't fully there, which obviously then comes with a whole bunch of guilt the next day, which I'm sitting with now. But yesterday, every single little thing overwhelmed me, stressed me out, and there was no reason for it, seemingly. I know there'll be when I sit down today and I go through it, I'll think, oh, okay, maybe that could be what set it off. But at that point, I'd had enough. So once my kids had had lunch, they were sat down eating in the lounge, I went into my bedroom. I thought, okay, right, let's try just breathe. Sat there, breathe in for 4. And as I started breathing in, instantly felt pissed off. I was like, I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to do this. But okay, breathing technique isn't working. Why don't I try and journal about how I'm feeling? Looked at the book. No. I think there was just this inner defiance at that point, because it felt so demoralizing being back in that headspace yesterday that I did. I was just like a child. I just said no to the universe. But I don't want to play this game anymore. I don't want to keep healing. Right now, I don't want to journal. I don't want to do some mindful breathing techniques. I don't want to exercise. I don't want to go on another walk. I don't want to look up at the sky and list all the things I'm grateful for. I want to sit here. I want to feel annoyed. I want to be annoyed. And I want to give myself room to feel that way. So that's what I did. I just allowed myself to feel angry. And you know what? In actually just allowing myself to feel it without trying to journal my way through it, or which are all incredible techniques I do use every single day. I meditate every morning. You know, they're incredibly powerful and they're huge parts of my personal healing. But yesterday, no. Yesterday, I just needed to feel the frustration. But from that has come a huge realization for me today, in that I am carrying a ton of residual anger over a certain situation, over that I've carried for months. And now, with that clarity, because I allowed myself to just feel how I needed to feel without trying to undo it, without trying to put any kind of healing mask over the top of it, and I just let it be, I now know today, okay, I can feel where the anger is in my body. So today, that's what I'm working on. That's what I will sit with. I will talk to it. I will transmute it, and I will find out exactly what's causing it. So it was a good thing in the long run. Oh, but you know, it is so underrated, or misunderstood. You know, healing to this degree, which I know so many of us are, people really do forget how exhausting it is every single day, because it's like you're battling two worlds. You're doing this shadow work, scooping out all of the pain and the hurt and the fear and the trauma and the wounds, and getting rid of them and working through them one by one, which is hard enough. But then where you've scooped out a lot of that, you then have new space for your kind of light self to come in and integrate with your shadow, so they can dance and do something nice together. So you've got stuff changing in here, you've got all sorts going on up here. You're creating new energetic space while still trying to filter out dense, dark energy, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And it's just a bit of a whirlwind, and it's tiring. It is just tiring. And that was my problem yesterday, and even motherhood yesterday. You know, doing this, being a single mum, it just hit me yesterday. Like, I'm tired as well, because you're trying to carry so much. We all are, you know, whether you have children or not, we're all trying to juggle so many things. And so, yeah, I can't put it any other way. I'm just tired. And I was ready to just throw in the towel yesterday, but I won't, because like I say, it's what I needed to have the revelation that, you know, I think certain family members and stuff, there's still a lot of anger there for me. And so now I can start to process that. And that's a good thing. But I think you also, you know, allow yourself those days. Allow yourself the days. This has been the most transformative thing for me. But when I first started this healing journey, one thing I would do every morning, because I hated sitting in silence, it would induce panic in me, because my nervous system isn't wired for silence. It has been wired for chaos and to be on high alert and fight or flight all the time, all my life. So the first thing I did 6-7 months ago was force myself at 5 o'clock in the morning, when it's still dark out, to come sit in my lounge and just sit. And I would say I think it took about 3 weeks before I could do that without having a severe panic attack. But I did it. I showed up every morning, 5 o'clock, sit, do nothing, just observe. And that, putting myself in a situation that felt so dangerous to start with, consistently facing it has been so transformative, and was what allowed me to learn how to just sit with how I'm feeling. So I did that again this morning, and I sat and I just reflected on yesterday. And then you start uncovering, oh, okay, yeah, this makes sense. That feeling there, I remember when that happened. I'd completely forgotten about it. It's helpful. It helps you grow. And it helps you confront your fears, because the truth is, until we all confront our fears fully and boldly at a time and a pace that suits you and everyone individually, but until we do that, you can never fully heal. So yeah, yesterday was rough, and I didn't always handle it with grace. There were times yesterday where I was just like, enough, no. And it was messy and it was chaotic. And then I went to bed with horrific mum guilt, even though their day was great and they were fine. They had no idea that I was, oh my God, an internal inferno going on. I still went to bed feeling super guilty. But I just thought, you know what? No, that's fine. No more guilt. You've done that for long enough. So I went to bed. Today's a new day. I hope this video had some kind of value. I really do. Because there's been a lot of me complaining. And I'm sure I lost my point quite a few times in this video. But the point being, that the takeaway, healing isn't always going to be amazing. We know that. Yesterday was the closest I'd been to, a kind of breaking point in a long time. And I didn't like that. I don't think anyone does. But allowing myself to just let it be what it was is absolutely the best decision I made for myself. And I think, you people, we need to remember that sometimes biggest parts of healing can be the days where you don't try and stop or alchemise or transmute what you're feeling because you feel you have to. Because you don't always have to. No. So now I'm going to sit with my dog. I'm going to sit on the grass. I'm going to have a cup of coffee and I'm going to breathe because I feel calmer today. And we're going to keep going every day. So, but if you've been there, if you are there, if you know someone who's going through it, if you have any advice, techniques, I'd love to hear from all of you. So, and if you've got this far, thank you. I'm so grateful, and I'm so grateful to have this space to share. I really am. So, light and love to you all, and I will see you soon. Bye.